Okay, so we will see about the okay, so today we will see about the types of wound healing. Is the slide visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
usually we have three types of wound healing. Okay, so depending, suppose most probably, suppose in those type of wound where it is mostly intentional wound, suppose a person receiving any form of surgical treatment, okay, or surgery, undergoing surgery. So what type, in those type of wound, what happen? After obviously after the patient is particular area it's being opened up, okay, we usually close it with a suture. Okay, suture means that stitching. So in those type of wound what happen, those are very clean wound. Okay, so in those, particularly in those type of wound, healing takes place by the primary union or the primary intention, we used to say. Okay, and in the second type of wound, okay, in those type of wound where it is very large, suppose the injury it is very large and the gap is too much. Okay, so what happened in those type of wound, we it is not possible to just stitch directly and attach them, or we can say approximation. So in those type of wound what happened, the healing usually takes place by secondary intention. Okay, that means whenever we say secondary intention, that means these are those type of wound or injuries where the injury it is very large, or suppose a person is having a very major like burn trauma. Okay, so in those type of condition the healing will takes place by secondary intention. Okay, so the only thing which we can do here in secondary intention, we have to keep it clean, okay, by the time, okay, to prevent from infection, because once infection happen, what happen, this wound it will automatically, it takes very, it will slow down the rate of healing. Okay, and the third one, it is called as a healing by the third intention or the tertiary healing. So in this also what happened, in this usually whenever the wound also is very large and the gap, okay, it is too much. So for the time being what happens, so we have to let the wound again at least fill up the gap, okay, with the help of granulation tissue. If you still remember in yesterday's class also we have talked about the granulation tissue. Okay, and so in these type what happen, once the granulation tissue is filled up, so one it's a bit, okay, approximation is a bit done, then we can suture it later, but not, okay, immediately. Okay, so we'll see with this one by one. Okay, so the first healing, it is called as a healing by the first intention, or it is also called as a primary union. Okay, so this occurs whenever it is the wound, okay, it is very clean. That means it is mostly an intentional wound. Okay, like I've said, in any a person undergoing any form of surgery. So for those type of patient or condition, we usually the healing will take place by primary union. Okay, so it occurs in clean incise a surgical wound, and the wound edges are approximated with sutures. Okay, so whenever we say approximate means we are trying to fill up the gap or we are trying to close the gap. So here, since it is done intentionally and it is mostly clean and the gap it is also not that wide. Okay, so we can just close it down with the help of a suture, okay, or stitching. Minimal granulation tissue and scarring, because there is a very small gap in between. Okay, so and in these type of wound also the healing occurs a bit faster, okay, as compared to the another types of wound or major wounds. The wound heals rapidly with complete closure. Okay, and the scar will be very linear and smooth. Okay, so this usually we see it in a person who have undergone any form of surgery. Okay, so after they are done with the surgery, most probably after a few weeks, if you see the surgical sites, it becomes very smooth and linear. Okay, not much of bumping will be there. Okay, because it is done in a very clean and aseptic technique, it is being maintained. Okay, and risk of infection is also very minimal here. Okay, because not only that, even after the operation, time to time, the okay, every day we are cleaning the wound. Okay, we are maintaining the aseptic technique. So here in this type of wound healing, so there is very less chance of infection. Okay, so I will just show you one diagram. Okay, so in this diagram, as you can see, so this is how the healing by primary intention occurs. Okay, so what happened, as you can see, there is a scar. So if you remember in yesterday's class also we have discussed whenever any injury occur, the first thing which happen is the vasoconstriction or the formation of the fibrin clot. Okay, so this fibrin clot, what happened, it helps in the controlling of the bleeding, or it helps to stop the bleeding. Okay, so once that what happened, the wound edges, it is joined by the fibrin plug. Okay, and the regrowth of the basal layer of the epidermis, then the lysis of fibrin and reepithelialization occurs. So if you remember, it means all this process of formation of granulation tissue, it occurs. So if you remember, yesterday we have discussed, whenever we say granulation tissue, that means these are a combination of new capillaries, okay, or as well as the connective tissues. Okay, so how do we develop those connective tissue? Mostly with the help of the fibroblasts. Okay, if you remember, fibroblasts are the main connective tissue cells. Okay, so they are the one who release the collagen, the matrix, and with the help of this collagen and matrix, it helps to form a structural framework, or it helps to develop those epithelial tissues and all those, which are very necessary for the wound to heal. Okay, and at last there will be restoration of the intact skin. Okay, so this, as you can see in primary intention, so the healing, it occurs in a very faster rate. Okay, as there is a very minimal scarring, and also there is a very small gap. So this is actually how it is done. Okay, so to make it more easy, you just remember, in primary healing, that means these are those which are done in those type of wound which are mainly sutured wound or surgical wounds. Okay, so the second type of healing, it is called as the healing by secondary intention. And in this type of healing, it occurs in wound with extensive soft tissue loss. Okay, like a person, suppose, undergoing a very, she have had a very major accident. Okay, where most part of the tissue are also being lost. Okay, or injured. Okay, or burn, patient who are having a very severe burn. Okay, and wound with sepsis. Not only burn, even suppose if the person is having a wound, and on top of that the wound is already large enough, but also the wound is becoming very infected, because maybe these type of wound, it occurs this one unintentionally, for example accidents and all. Okay, so in these type of wound, so the healing, it will, the healing process which will help, it is the secondary intention. Okay, the wound edges cannot be approximated, that means we cannot close it because the gap, it is so wide. Okay, so we have to first of all, in this type of wound healing, so we have to just, we cannot close down or we cannot suture the wound, but we have to let it fill up. That means we'll have to allow the granulation tissue to take its turn and fill up the gap. Okay, now like how is it usually done? Okay, so the cavity of the wound, it is usually filled with a red, soft, and sensitive tissue, which is called as the granulation tissue, which bleeds easily. Okay, and it produces a very larger scar here, because obviously the wound edges also is very wide. Okay, so even if the approximation will takes place with the formation of the granulation tissue, but later on the scar will be formed and it will be very wide, and it also sometimes it might lead to disability. Okay, for example, especially suppose a person with a very large burn injury, and also sometime later on the skins will become so tight and it becomes very difficult even for mobility. Okay, especially if it affects the parts of the joint. Okay, where the movement, lots of movement is involved, so sometimes it might even make a person to become disabled or unable to perform their, it might disrupt their daily activities. Okay, so this is how healing by secondary intention, it is being done. Okay, so as you can see from the photo, okay, so in the first diagram itself, you can see that the gap, it is very wide. Okay, if you compare to the previous slides on primary intention, so the gap, it is very less. So here you can see that the gap, it is so much, so obviously in these type we cannot do any form of suturing, so we have to allow it to healed. Okay, by itself. So first of all, obviously whenever there is injury, there will be a formation of a fibrin. Okay, to help in controlling the bleeding. Okay, so large defect filled by the fibrin clot. Okay, so the second, in the second photo, what it is shown, then the formation of the granulation tissue will be starting up. Okay, so there will be formation of new blood vessels, and the fibroblast will take a turn. Okay, in releasing the collagen, the matrix, which are very important parts of the this one granulation tissue. Okay, so this new blood vessels and fibroblasts grows from the dermis into the fibrin. Okay, so the growing process does not go from up to down, but from down, then slowly up till the skin. Okay, uh, after that, in the next, what happens? So the collagen laid down by the granulation tissue fibroblast to restore the integrity. Okay, as you can see from the photo, it starts to reach the fibrin area, and maturation of the collagen achieves a structural integrity and allows the regrowth of the epidermis. That means in the last phase, you can see that the wound is mostly completely healed. Okay, and even almost all the approximation is done, and even the uh, stability, the strength of the wound, okay, which is healed, also is being regained. Okay, slowly. So this is actually how healing by secondary intention takes place. So don't be confused with the phases. So in all the different three types of wound healing, the phases of wound healing, if you remember, the same process will continue. Okay, fibrin clot, then the fibroblast, okay, then then the granulation tissue. Okay, so this is how it is usually done. Then the third one, it is called as the healing by the tertiary intention. Okay, so in this healing by tertiary intention, so these are the wound which are primarily they are contaminated wound. Okay, or it can be mixed tissue wound. Okay, these type of wound healing usually occurs by tertiary intention. Okay, so it is also called as the delayed or secondary closure due to poor circulation in the area, because for any wound actually to heal properly we need adequate amount of oxygen. Okay, so without proper oxygenation in that particular area, the wound healing, it will not occur faster. So we need uh, a very good blood circulation or a good amount of oxygenation for any wound to heal. Okay, so wounds are sutured later after the formation of the, okay, so after the formation of the, sorry, granulation tissue, what happened here? So later on, as the gap will fill up, okay, so later we can stitch the wound. Okay, I'll show you in the diagram. So this is how a healing by tertiary intention usually occurs. Okay, so as you can see, the wound, it is very wide. Okay, the gap is very much. So here also what happened, just like secondary intention, we will let the wound, we will, because as the gap is very wide, so it is not able to close it or to approximate it with sutures, but instead we will let it filled. Okay, so first of all the fibrin clot will be developed, then there will be formulation of granulation tissue. Okay, or the restoration phase of wound healing will take place here. Then as the granulation tissue starts filling up the gap, so later on what happened, we will stitch. Okay, so because this, why we are doing a stitching here, because these type of wound, they are very large. Okay, larger than those who are in the secondary type. So obviously as the gap filled up, later on also we need some little bit of stitching also is being done here, or suturing. Okay, so lead suturing with a very wide scar. So in this also, if a person have this type of wound, they will have a very large scar. Okay, formation will be there as compared to the primary wound. Okay, so this is actually how the types of wound healing usually occur. Okay, primary, secondary, and tertiary. So anyone, if you have any question related to the types of wound healing? Yes or no? Anyone have any question, any doubt?
Yeah,